Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Give us a like and subscribe so you can follow this crazy rabbit hole with us as we dig into it. Last time we talked about John Cleves Symmes, the Hollow Earth guy everyone treats like a total dodo. The man who basically walked up to Congress and said, "Hey, give me money so I can crawl into the planet like it's a giant tauntaun and I'm trapped on the ice planet of Hoth, hiding from Lord Vader's minions." I laughed at him too, I did. But then something weird happened. I started digging, and suddenly Sims didn't seem as alone or as crazy as everybody says. Because the deeper I went, the more I kept running into the same thing. From places that had nothing to do with Sims, nothing to do with each other, nothing to gain from agreeing. And that's when it hit me. Either this is the biggest coincidence in human mythology, or everybody was remembering the same thing. Which brings us to the part nobody talks about the five major Native American tribes. Five completely different cultures scattered across the continent didn't just talk about caves or spirits or poetic metaphors about Mother Earth. They literally said their ancestors came out of the earth, as in lived underground, came up to the surface, and started the world we live in now. Not symbolically, not spiritually, literally underground people. And these stories aren't vague. They're not once upon a time. They're detailed, sacred, passed down for generations as factual history. And that's when I went, hold on a minute, Sims isn't the dodo here. Let's start with the Hopi because their story sets the tone for everything. According to the Hopi, their ancestors lived beneath the surface in the previous world, the third world, until everything went sideways. Wrong third world, not Somalia. Humanity got corrupt, greedy, violent, basically us now. Maybe it was called Old New York. So the creator destroys the third world with a massive flood. Total reset. Before the destruction, Spider Grandmother, not Spider Man, Spider Grandmother, saves the good hearted people. She seals them inside giant hollow reeds like escape pods, and these pods float upward through the floodwaters into the next realm, the fourth world. There are no accounts of one of these pods hitting Noah's boat, as far as we know. When the waters finally settle, they end up on a small island in this new world, our world. And to think, they were only going on a 3-hour tour. So they didn't just appear here magically. The Hopi say they physically climbed into this world through a literal passage called the Sepapu. You can still see this symbol in kivas today. That's their old homes. They are small holes in the floor representing the place humanity emerged from. This isn't metaphor. This is what they believe passed down through ages. This is the Hopi saying, we lived underground, then we came up here. Not a lot of room for interpretation there. Moving on to the Zuni. Same theme, different architecture. The Zuni say their ancestors didn't start on the surface. They lived in a dark, cold underworld, literally below us, until the twin sons of the Sun Father guided them upward. And here's the cool part. Just like the Hopi climbed through the Sipapu, the Zuni climbed through layers, chamber after chamber, cavern after cavern, rising closer and closer to the world we're standing on right now. Different names, different directions, same structure. An underground origin and a physical path upward. When they finally reach the surface world, you'd think they'd get a breather. Nope. A great flood almost wipes them out. Again, caused by people breaking sacred laws. Might not have been them. It could have been those Hopi, since they had it also. Maybe they broke the laws. Since it is the same corruption, same punishment, same theme you see with the Hopi, the Zuni escaped the rising water by climbing to the top of a massive mesa called Dawa Yalane. The water kept rising all the way to the top. And then it gets dark, and they see a dove, and it lands, and it grabs an olive branch. But the Zuni are hungry, and they try to grab the dove. Okay, I'm lying. That part's not true. Shit. To save the people, a boy and a maiden, the children of the two rain priests, sacrificed themselves. The flood recedes immediately, and the Zuni say these two children became the stone pillars still standing beside the mesa. So now we've got two tribes, side by side on the map, saying the same core thing. Our ancestors lived underground, something catastrophic happened, we emerged into this world. Next up, the Navajo, or the Dene. Their myth is more complex, but the message is the same. Humans came upward through multiple worlds before arriving here. They lived in the first world, then something went wrong, up to the second world, something else went wrong, up to the third world, and then the flood. Coyote stole the children of the water monster, because of course he did, and the water monster retaliated by flooding the entire third world. Everyone had to escape by climbing aside a giant reed that grew tall enough to reach the next realm. Like Jack and the Beanstalk vibes here. And what's with these giant reeds everywhere? Like pool noodles at the dollar store? When they reached the fourth world, this world, the water monster followed them up through the reed until Coyote finally returned the stolen babies. Once again, underground worlds, upward movement, flood, emergence. Now the Mandan tribe. These people were incredibly detailed about their origins. They say their ancestors lived in an underground village next to a subterranean lake. A grapevine grew from the surface down into their home. One young man climbed it, saw the beautiful world above, and brought grapes back to show everyone. So naturally, the entire tribe tried to climb up, until a very heavy woman snapped the vine and trapped half the people underground forever. That's why Mandan spirits return below when they die to their original home to say hi to the fat lady, and she sang. And then there's their great flood story. Their creator, Lone Man, built a giant canoe to save everyone. A dove was sent out and returned with a willow branch. Okay, this time it's real. The waters receded. People restarted life on the surface. Tell me it doesn't sound familiar, though. Last of the big five, the Lakota tribe. They believe the first people lived underground with the buffalo. They emerged into this world through Wind Cave in South Dakota, which is still considered a sacred birthplace. And in their cosmology, previous worlds were destroyed, first by fire, then by a great flood. It's the same rhythm again and again. Neighboring tribes. Now here's where it gets insane. It's not just these five tribes. 8 neighboring tribes, the Havasupai, Hualapai, Paiute, Acoma, Laguna, Arikara, Hidatsa, Omaha, all tell almost identical stories. Different tribes, different languages, different landscapes, same core idea. Our people lived inside the earth until the time came to rise. Okay, that's 13 tribes now, 13 cultures saying the same thing. Now the Siberian connection. So naturally at this point I'm like, all right, that's weird for one continent. Let's see what's happening on the other side of the planet. And then I find the Nenets of Siberia. They talk about the Sihirtia, tiny pale people who lived underground long before the Nenets arrived. They rode mammoths through tunnels beneath the tundra. Is this like Disney World or something? Mammoths? Like woolly mammoths underground, and they rode them in tunnels. They came out only at night or in the mist. And the Nenets have legends of intermarrying with them. Could this be like a Giants connection? Any of this sound familiar yet? I'm starting to wonder. What if a bunch of mountains were actually cities? We just don't know it yet. Moria, Belagast, or Nogrod. Lord of the Rings fans will get it. Even Europe with the Celtic Underhill people, the Basque mountain ancestors, and the Sami beings inside the earth hints at the same damn thing. But let's slow down because this isn't just some random folklore fluff. These are ancient cultures separated by oceans, mountains, and thousands of years, all describing the same structure. Take the Celts. Their entire mythology is built around the side, the people of the hills. Not metaphorically, literally beings who live inside the earth, in mounds, in caves, in hollow hills. The Tuatha De Danann, the Shining Ones, they don't die, they go underground. And the Basque, one of the oldest genetic groups in Europe. Their origin myths say their ancestors came from the inside of the Pyrenees Mountains. Whole caves filled with the old ones who taught them metalwork and survival. To me, that doesn't sound like the Mandan talking about Lone Man or the Hopi talking about the previous worlds. And the Sami up in the far Arctic. That's the same exact description the Nenets give for the Sihirtia, the underground people who ride mammoths. 2 Arctic cultures. Same damn story. So now we have Native Americans saying we came from the earth, Siberian tribes saying the same thing, and Europeans thousands of miles away with traditions that match the pattern like puzzle pieces. At some point, you stop calling that coincidence, and you start wondering if all these people are remembering the same event, the same migration, the same hiding place, the same catastrophe that forced human beings underground before re-emerging into the world. Maybe we've just been looking for the wrong kind of lost civilizations and in the wrong places. Because here's the part that honestly caught me off guard. Almost every one of these origin stories mentions tunnels, passages, doorways, entrances that were sealed, and then you lay these ancient stories over modern cave maps of North America. But do the locations line up? Well, next time we go deeper, literally. Underground tunnel systems, forgotten cave networks, people who go missing today, and maybe, just maybe, something's still living down there. I'm getting my petition ready for Congress. Fingers are crossed. Maybe we can be funded to go trade with the mole people. This rabbit hole is just getting started. Till next time. If you liked this video, consider subscribing or liking. Or we have an assortment of cryptid merchandise that we sell online. Link below.